Hi, this is Carolina, the Soul Coach. Welcome to my podcast. Hello, welcome to Sunday Catchup podcast. How are you and how has your week been? Has it been a good one? I really hope so. We're still in Mercury retrograde and it's the gift that keeps on coming, isn't it? I was talking to Pauline yesterday, our tarot reader at Quest, and just about her week. And she was saying, pretty identical to my week, how there's been lots of challenges, yet there's lots of good. And how my voice went a little bit funny then, and how we are really being called to look at our stuff. But I think we're always being called to look at our stuff and what triggers us to clear it so that we can connect to that joy and that love within us frequently. And So, Pauline's been going through it, and I know from a number of customers, same. Yet there's this kind of whole greatness going on, and I'm sure it's something to do with this Jupiter-Uranus thing that's happening at the weekend, because I can't remember the word off the top of my head. Oh my goodness, conjuncture, that's the word. I was going to say collision, but conjuncture at the weekend. So I'm sure it has something to do with that. As we remember, Jupiter is the planet, the abundant planet, and Uranus is the unexpected planet. So it seems to be lots of unexpected events happening, and yet there's all this great as well. So that's next weekend. So 21st of April. So it may have already been passed if you listen to this after that, but if you're listening to it as I put it out there, it is that next weekend. So just look at what's happening in your life and some of the things that have happened, and maybe you'll get some understanding and clarification as to why it's happening. So I'm going to share what's been happening with me, because I felt like I was being a bit cryptic last Sunday, not intentionally. I was still just trying to fathom everything out because there was so much that went on. But for me this week, it's been one of the toughest weeks I've had in a very long time. Lots have been triggered, lots of fear, lots of anxiety. And it's been tough, but it's been a real opportunity to put into practice what I've learned and what I talk about the whole time. And I think that the universe does give us these times in our lives to be able to step into what we know and what we've learned. It's been very easy for me this week, and I will go into it, but it would have been very easy for me this week to have gone in a very downward spiral. And I did one day this week, and it wasn't pleasant. It really wasn't nice. It was very, very difficult. But what was great that came out of it is I was completely triggered. And what I mean by that is there was lots coming up, lots of fear, lots of anxiety, lots of confusion, real uncomfortableness in my tummy, and just this awful feeling. However, I recognised it, I welcomed it. All the times I'd ever felt it before, I allowed it to be here because it obviously needed to be heard. But what I didn't do was act on it. It was very close to acting on it, but I didn't act on it. And that felt much better once I'd come through it. So some of the techniques that I use and that I've discussed in previous podcasts was Ho'oponopono. In the middle of the night, waking up. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Repeating that all the time really helped, because we don't know what comes out of our subconscious. We're not in control of that. So when all of this gets triggered, we want to clear it. And I find that the Ho'oponopono technique really works for me. and it's great. So I have written a blog on about it, and I know I talked about it on previous podcasts, but it's thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. And whenever we're triggered, I think if we can just clear it, it will become easier and easier when a challenge comes into our life to, to be able to recognize it for what it is and clear it. Honestly, it's really helped. So basically, my husband and I, we started a business out in India, as some of you may know. It was a factory, and it was really exciting, really, really exciting. It was, my husband ran the figures. It was a real good opportunity for ourselves and our business partners. And it was great, and we needed to invest to get this business started up, as you do, and all was great. We got the factory, we set it up, got the machines, we got people working for us. We had great people. And it's still running, really good, really, really positive. But we just had a couple of things not go our way as a company, and because it's so far away in India, it's really difficult to kind of stay on top of things. And it got to a point where we'd kind of, invested a lot of money, and it was, again, the gift that kept on giving of needing more money. And, it's so exciting to see what we could produce and the potential of that. And it was just huge, and we were hugely invested in this opportunity, and it was great fun, and it was a great adventure. But what happened was, I think that it became too stressful because of things that were out of our control, and because we were so far away, it was just really difficult. And we just decided that we just decided that we couldn't continue. We just couldn't continue. There were too many things that were out of our control, and dealing in India, and we thought that would be okay because we go over quite frequently, but I think cultural differences play a part in this too. That India does things very differently to us here in the UK and what we're used to. And as I say, being many miles away, it's pretty tricky. But honestly, what a ride, what an adventure. And now the factory is set up, it's all there. We're just not going to be part of it anymore. However, we will have our dresses continue to be made there, but the relief of not being part of it is far greater than what we were feeling, the stress that we were feeling around it. And so we're just working through that now. It's nice to know that we have set that up, because we started it, because it was a great business potential, and also that we could potentially make a difference to others out in India. I've visited India many times, and some of the places we've gone are just very different to here. And we just thought we could make a difference, employ people. There was opportunities for women, for apprenticeships. There was lots. But I think there were many. I think life was like, yeah, it's a great idea. Oh, excuse me. I think that, life thought it was a great idea, but just not for us. So, we've set it up, and I hope it goes from strength to strength. I really do. And I hope that whoever runs it now will, continue the dream and the ideas moving forward. But we are now not invested in this anymore. I just it's just wonderful opportunity. So we've just been dealing with the fallout of that. And then, of course, from a business point of view, we've literally had to make some tough decisions to actually pull out. That was not an easy decision to make, because of course what gets triggered is we've invested all this money and potentially could lose it. The possible, embarrassment or shame of ending this business. And listening to Stephen Bartlett came, and I think I mentioned it last week, but he came into our lives on, social media, podcasts, reading his book and everything at a really great time. And he says, failure is for winners, because you learn and you move forward. And most people don't start up businesses for fear of failing. However, we did start it up. We knew it was a risk. We've set something up really good, and we're really proud of what we've done. But it was our time to end. So this is what's been going on the last couple of weeks, and I was so excited to share with you what we had set up and what we had created, and share that whole story with you over these podcasts. But instead, I'm sharing with you that we've had to actually pull out of this opportunity, and that has triggered me and my husband. And so we're working through what those triggers are to clear it. And I have to say that that's kind of been, not that we needed to be closer together, but you'll know what I mean. It's like bringing us together in a deeper, meaningful way of stuff that we didn't know was in the way. So and the importance of communication. It's so important. It really, really is. Talking it through and everything else. So yeah, what. And it was, again, thinking about Jupiter and Uranus, completely like out the blue. Like this was not a plan. We didn't plan to. We wanted to see it through, but totally unexpected. We read the energy. We knew we had to get out, so we got out, and we're learning from it. And so that's what's been happening. So Ho'oponopono has been helping great, and just pulling back and analysing exactly what went on. And I think also that we saw this huge potential through someone else's eyes that they saw, and we were captivated by that. And I think it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. But actually, it's not what we're about. I personally, I've never really, clothes is just not my thing. But helping people are. So I think we saw that potential. We just didn't see all the pitfalls. But anyway, it's made us think, what do we love? What do we want to do? What is important to us? And what's close to our hearts, and to follow that. And, we have so much, gosh, when you think of it, it's don't we, all our lives we just have so much. And we have our beautiful shop in Epsom. I'm loving doing these podcasts. I love doing the Reiki healing, meditation. I've always said all my life about being in service, and I think that's it. But I think the most important thing is doing what I love, and everybody doing what they love. Because if we all did what we loved, the world would be a happier place, wouldn't it? So yeah, so that's been the week, the week that keeps on giving, but in a really good, positive way, even though it feels very challenging. So if you're going through something similar, or you're, don't be afraid to let go of something that's not working out for you. There could be something even better for you around the corner. And I think that gratitude plays a huge part of living in the magic, but just living in the flow, living a human being life is just being in gratitude. So many people we notice aren't in gratitude. They're just expecting. And you know, those people that I speak to that are living like that, once they get the message that just thank you, appreciate everything that's coming in, whether it's a lesson, whether it's a joy, it can turn their lives around. So yeah, it's been huge gratitude this week, last week, massive gratitude, and just really grateful for the journey that we're on and the ride, and to have the awareness that it was time to let go. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's kind of been the theme of the week. Lots of other stuff has been going on as well that's been running in the background that's been really positive. So we what have we been doing? To be honest, it's kind of been mainly that, but also looking at the shop and working on the shop and making that look beautiful. For those of you that might not know about the shop, it's in Epsom. It's a crystal shop, and lots of other beautiful gifts. And we also do other spiritual gifts, and it's beautiful, and people just come in just because they love the feeling, because it's a real peaceful shop. Even though we're in the heart of a shopping centre, it's really lovely, and we offer lots of things. And we've also got a little room out the back, and where Kathy comes in and does her aura clearing, and we've got Pauline who does the tarot reading, Steve does tarot reading, and I do Reiki. So we do quite a lot from there, and also we run the training thing. So it's a busy little centre we've got in the heart of Epsom. So if you haven't visited, do come and see us. And also, I think this week, thinking about my week, it's about your tribe. It's been about the people that actually love and care and support us. We're very much people that don't need help, and we kind of just get on and we crack on. But this last few weeks has been really difficult, and so it's our tribe has really helped massively. Our friendships. Kathy has helped me this week big time, and just chatting to Pauline and just chatting to things through, and realising you're not the only one going through this, that people out there are also experiencing similar things, but it's just a different stage, different people, but the theme is the same, and I think that's really reassuring as well. So if you are going through a difficult time, just keep learning, keep working through your stuff, keep clearing, keep staying grounded, drink lots of water, lots of fresh air, and know that this will pass, and it will pass at the right time, and you will feel better coming out of it because you will have learned something. So don't be afraid, as I said earlier, I know I'm repeating myself, just to let go and trust in the universe, that the universe has got your back, even though all you're staring at is nothing. It's the scariest thing, but no, and you'll start to get signs of things coming in where you're supposed to be heading, and it's just having that wisdom to let go. For sure. I just want to share a little story with you, just completely on a different track, but I just wanted to share with you the marvels of the universe. And there's always one story that I come back to that I think kind of encapsulates how the universe does have your back, and how things work out. So when and I'll try and keep it as brief as possible, but when we were let me go back. In 2007, we opened our shop in Yule Village, June the 21st, 2007. And we opened the shop, and it was just myself and my mum that was working in the shop, and we obviously the children and my husband were there too, but it was me and Mum that were basically working in the shop. I just love this story, and I'll try and keep it as brief as possible. And we opened June 21st, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, and the people that helped us, it was awesome, and the energy was amazing, and it was brilliant. The shop was fantastic, and it was lovely. Anyone that remembers that shop will know how amazing it is. And we had a clairvoyant at the time in there, Val Hood, and obviously we had Kathy, and so we'd been open. So let's just spring forward to the November. So we opened in the June, and we spring forward to the November, and it was this one weekend where Val started to take photographs of the shop. She took loads of photographs of the shop just randomly one Saturday. So that was that. And then my mum said the next door neighbour had been asking for our home number for weeks, and we just hadn't got round to doing it. So this particular Saturday, where Val had been taking these photos, I said to Mum, I'm going to put the rubbish around the back, and then I'm going to put the card through the door with my home phone number. So that was done. And I just put the finishing touches in the window of our Christmas display. Me and Mum always argued, ever since we opened, we'd always have disagreements about the front of the shop. Door open, door shut, door open, door shut. I like to open. It was cold, so we needed to shut it, and it never felt right. The front of that shop never ever felt right. So this Saturday, we did all of that. That was it. And then I think we were shut on the Sunday. Or we weren't shut. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. Then at 10:30 at night, me and my husband had gone to bed, and we get this phone call from the neighbour that I'd put my number in next door. And he said, a car's just crashed into your shop. And we were like, what? He goes, yeah, a car's crashed into your shop. And we were like, oh, obviously we got our clothes on and went down to our shop. And this car had literally crashed into our shop all the way through. It destroyed the whole shop. The front window, it'd come all the way through to the back of the shop. Can you imagine the devastation? This car hadn't gone left or right. It'd gone right in the middle of the shop. And this shop wasn't on a corner. It was in a parade of shops. Had the car gone to the left or to the right, the driver would have been very injured. But it went right in. So, yeah. And we were like, oh, this is like interesting. It's like, why has this happened? And then you start piecing it together. The guy said that it was a sleety evening. It was lots of sleet, and he was driving, and he saw a figure run out in the road from the shop. And obviously there was nobody there. And he just obviously braked hard and swerved and came straight in. The funny thing is that he reversed out of the shop we're covered with wind chimes, sun catchers, everything else. He'd left his front bumper and number plate in our shop, but he'd reversed out, and then because there was obviously such a loud bang, people from the pub a few doors down chased him down, and obviously I don't know really what happened, but it was obviously only an accident. But yeah, so then our first ever customer was Jerry, who's passed away now, sadly. What a great guy he was, but he's a builder. He was our first customer. My husband had just said those words on our opening day on 25th. I'm not sure about all these crystals, love, and he came in and purchased quite a lot of crystals, and yeah, he was the builder working next door. Anyway, to cut a long story short, what happened was it was definitely a marketing opportunity because it went in the paper. We're from an insurance background, and the insurance guy came, had a look at it all, and was like, you're going to have to take everything good, put it upstairs, count it all, and then obviously get rid of all the rubbish. My husband probably a couple of weeks previous to that, had set up as a till system called an EPOS system. So we had all the stock on there. Val had taken pictures of the shop, so we could prove what it looked like. Jerry rebuilt the front of the shop, and some great friends, the community, came together and helped us clear the whole thing. Guess how long it took us to get back to where we were? 3 weeks. That's all it took. The insurance assessor couldn't believe it. He came up and he said, okay, we gave him the list. He goes, okay, can you show me 3 black cats, 3, whatever we'd written down, and we could go to it straight away. You can imagine it was just chaos everywhere. We had people coming in to stock take, to count and everything. 3 weeks that we got back open, and we were open before Christmas. I absolutely needed to be open before Christmas, and we did it. Isn't that a great story? I love that story of how the universe had our back. We got the front of the shop rebuilt how we wanted it. The energy just went whoosh. We had all this evidence to give to the insurance company. Yeah, we were out of pocket because you're never enough assured. But you know what? We had a better shop for it. And we were looked after big time. And I think in life it's knowing and trusting that we are looked after. And I'm sure you have lots of evidence in your life to know that you're looked after. And just think about some of those synchronistic moments that happen in your life where things come together for you. I'm going to share another quick story for you because I love this story. We were out with our friends last night, Stella and Richard, and Stella was telling us about this, what happened recently for her. And she was telling us that her family, her dad lived in northern Cyprus, the Turkish side, and we all know what happened there. And anyway, he came to England with his wife, and obviously they had Stella and everything else, and children and whatever. But what Stella was telling me was that her dad's brother built a church in the northern territory of Cyprus, and she's been thinking about this church, and he was a priest, and she's wanting to go back and visit it and find the church. And she's never wanted to before, but she just really wants to. And she's going to Cyprus in a couple of weeks, so she's gonna go and look at this church and find out a little bit more about this. But she didn't have a clue where to go, what to do, or who to see, or anything else. And she'd been thinking about it for weeks and weeks and weeks. And she was just waking up in the night thinking about it, dreaming it, that she was going to visit and everything else. But she just needed a bit more information. And then one day last week, the phone rang at home, and it was a lady. Oh, it turned out to be a lady that was I think, I might be getting my stories already muddled up, but I think it was like a cousin of hers, and she hadn't spoken to in 36 years. And this lady knew the whole story about the church and the priest and the brother and the dad and everything else. And so she knows where it is now, and she's able to go, and she got all the information that she wanted. But literally, this lady, Stella, doesn't even know how they got a number or anything, and she hasn't spoken to her in 36 years. How amazing is that she just rings after 36 years and is able to tell Stella exactly what she needs to know. Now, that to me is living in the flow. That's pure manifestation right there. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about these beautiful synchronistic moments. And we're going to be looking at these in future podcasts. There's one coming out very soon. If it hasn't, I think we're having trouble uploading it with Scott. And then Scott's going to be chatting to us over every month. We're going to be talking to Kathy as well, who we were friends at school, and she's now very popular, has got a year's waiting list, and does she's really great. So we've got the lovely Kathy going to be talking to us as well on this podcast, and I've got an actor friend who's going to be talking to us, and lots of different things. So it's these moments. So please share with me if you've got any stories about the synchronicity moments where things just happen. That's what we're talking about, and that's why it's okay to make tough decisions, to let go, because the universe has your back. It really does. And something else will come, something magical will come, and you will get signs. We just didn't necessarily read the signs right, but we did. And it was like, there, you need to make this decision. And we were left with no choice. But it's like, just trust, let it go. Well, that is the end of my catch up this week, leaving on that high note of where flow can happen. It really can. The magic can happen. We just have to get out of the way and allow it. Have a super week. Look forward to catching up with you next week. I'm off to India next week. So I will catch up with you. So yeah, next week will be about this week, and then it'll be all about India. And we're girls on tour. Actually, I'm going with Amelia and Harriet, my 2 daughters. So there'll be lots of adventures to share with you in India. I'm really excited about that. So yeah, shall we just stop for a moment? Just take a breath. All is well. Breathing out. Breathing in. Thank you, universe, for bringing all of this to our attention. I'm so sorry, I have no idea why all of this keeps happening. Please forgive me, and I love you. Breathing in love, joy, hope. Take care until next week. Bye.